The number one hot drink that makes you sleep deeply and detoxes your liver overnight. Can a simple cup before bed change the way you wake up? What if the secret to more energy, less bloating, and truly restorative sleep was hidden in ingredients you already have in your kitchen? There's an age-old combo that's crossed cultures, traditions, and now even has science to back it up. It doesn't just put you into deep sleep, it also activates one of the most important and forgotten organs in the human body. We're not talking about magic tricks, not about empty promises either. We're talking about a nightly ritual that can totally change your nights and your days. What's really going on with your liver while you sleep? Why do some people wake up feeling light while others feel heavy, even sleeping the same number of hours? There's this tiny, warm, and powerful detail that can make all the difference. So, welcome to another episode of 𝙞𝙦 Essentia, where you'll discover the number one hot drink that helps you sleep deeply while detoxing your liver overnight. And more than that, you'll be getting straight-up answers for your health from one of the most respected doctors out there. Dr. Haruki, people talk all the time about how essential sleep is, but it feels like a lot of folks still underestimate it. Sleeping well isn't just resting, right? It's like the body goes into some kind of nightly maintenance. And the wild thing is, there's so much happening behind the scenes, especially with the liver. I'd like to start right there. What exactly happens with our body, and mainly with the liver, while we sleep?
You hit a key point. During deep sleep, the body kicks off a bunch of regenerative processes. That's when hormones like GH are released, which play a repairing role. But what's even more fascinating is that the liver goes into active mode, even while the rest of the body slows down. It starts filtering toxins that piled up throughout the day, processing chemicals, balancing metabolism. I usually say the liver is the body's cleaning factory, and it works best when we're in full rest.
It's wild to think that while we're out cold, the liver's in there working for us. But when sleep quality's bad, does all that get compromised? Like, can poor sleep literally poison the body?
Exactly. Lack of deep sleep interrupts the body's natural cycles, and that includes the liver's timing and quality of work. Without proper rest, the liver can't run detox efficiently. The result? Toxins that should have been flushed out stay circulating longer. That can lead to subtle symptoms, constant fatigue, irritability, or even digestive problems. Over time, the impacts add up.
And the worst part is that most people don't even realize the problems tied to sleep. They think they're just tired, stressed, or in need of more coffee, when in fact they're just building up toxins inside. It's like the body's jamming up from the inside, right?
Yeah, and it's way more common than people think. The body sends signals, but we've learned to ignore them. The good news is, there are natural ways to flip this cycle. Better sleep quality can boost liver function. And the other way around too. A healthy liver helps the body reach that restorative sleep. It's a two-way street.
Wow, that really changes how we look at bedtime. It's not just about lying down and closing your eyes. It's literally an opportunity to heal. And I keep wondering, with today's lifestyle, all the screens, heavy food at night, constant anxiety, do we even know what real deep sleep is anymore?
Hardly anyone experiences truly deep sleep these days. We're sleeping, but we're not resting, and you can see it in the body, in the skin, in the energy levels. The first step is realizing that. The second is doing things that help get you there. Prepping the body for sleep is like prepping soil before planting a seed, and the liver thanks you for that care.
That's the perfect image, Dr. Tanaka. Sleeping as if you're planting health for the next day. We'll talk more in a bit about what exactly helps us reach that state, but it's already clear that deep sleep is way more important than most of us thought. Let's keep this journey going. Dr. Tanaka, now that we get how deep sleep activates the liver's work, I think it's worth stepping back and really understanding how important this organ is. Because honestly, most people only think about their liver when they drink too much or hear something about fatty liver. But its role goes way beyond that, right?
Way beyond. The liver is one of the body's most multitasking organs. It's involved in over 500 metabolic functions, which is insane. Besides filtering toxins, it processes nutrients, stores energy, regulates blood sugar, breaks down fats, and even helps make essential proteins. It's like the body's chemical command center. When it's not doing well, no part of the body works the way it should.
And the signs that the liver's overloaded aren't always obvious, right? Someone might be struggling and not even connected to the liver. What kind of symptoms can be directly related to an off-balance liver?
Exactly. The signs start off subtle. One of the most common is constant fatigue, the kind that doesn't go away even with rest. The skin can get yellowish, digestion slows down, and there's often fat buildup in the belly area. In many cases, we also see glucose levels start to change, which is a risk for type 2 diabetes. And of course, blood work can show altered liver enzymes, but ideally you take action before it gets that far.
So basically, when the liver's overwhelmed, the whole body feels it. And what's crazy to me is that even though it's such a vital organ, most of us don't actively take care of it. We look after the heart, stomach, skin, but the liver just gets forgotten in the mix.
That's because the liver is quiet. It works hard and complains little. But that doesn't mean it doesn't need care. The good news is, it has an amazing ability to regenerate. With small changes, especially around nighttime habits, we can ease its load and let it function better, even while we're asleep.
Now I'm curious. You mentioned nighttime lifestyle changes. So there are simple actions we can take that actually help the liver while we sleep? Like what we eat or do before bed?
Exactly. At night, the body needs rest, and so does the liver. But if you eat heavy, drink a lot of alcohol or coffee, or go to bed with your nervous system revved up, you're putting up roadblocks for it. On the flip side, there are simple and natural habits that really boost the liver's overnight work. And that's what we'll dig into in the next chapter.
That's a solid hook right there. So in our next talk, we're going to go over the habits that sabotage us, and then, of course, the ones that actually help. Because if there's a way to sleep and detox at the same time, I'm in. Dr. Tanaka, after our last chat, I couldn't stop thinking about how often we get in our own body's way, especially at night, when it should be time to slow down. And I think one of the biggest villains, something a lot of people treat as normal, is eating late at night. That really does hit the liver directly, doesn't it?
It has a huge impact. When you eat late, especially heavy food loaded with fat, sugar, or processed junk, the liver is forced to work hard right when it should be switching into repair mode. It has to metabolize all that, release enzymes, deal with glucose spikes, and that messes with both detox and deep sleep induction. Eating late is like turning on all the lights in a house that was already ready for bed.
That's a great analogy. And it's not just food, right? A lot of people still drink coffee or alcohol at night thinking it won't matter. But from what you're saying, it matters a lot.
Yeah, unfortunately, it makes a big difference. Take caffeine, for example. It has a long half-life. That means even hours after your coffee, it's still in your system, stimulating your brain and messing with melatonin release, the sleep hormone. Alcohol, on the other hand, can make you feel drowsy at first, but later it fragments sleep and strains the liver. The liver has to process alcohol before anything else, so it drops everything to deal with it.
So we're basically sabotaging both sleep and the liver at once. It's like a double backstab. And I bet over time, that builds the perfect storm for metabolic imbalance, right?
Exactly. These small but repeated habits create a toxic environment in the body. Sleep gets shallow, the body doesn't regenerate, the liver doesn't filter properly, and then those silent symptoms start creeping in. Stubborn weight, constant bloating, cranky mornings. All tied to that nighttime imbalance.
And you know what's funny? Most people only notice something's wrong when they try to sleep better and still can't. They've swapped the mattress, changed the lighting, bought a new pillow, but they're still waking up exhausted. And maybe the real problem was that late-night meal, that glass of wine, or that TV show with a giant tub of popcorn.
That's exactly it. Which is why I always say, you can't just decide to sleep better without prepping your body for it. Good sleep quality starts before you even lie down, and the liver needs a calm, light, supportive environment to do its job. The good news is, the opposite's also true. With a few simple habits, you can build a positive cycle.
And that's exactly what we want to hear now. Because if there are habits that mess us up, there's got to be others that flip it around, that set the stage for deep sleep, and a liver that can do its thing in peace. Shall we dive in?
For sure. And none of it's complicated. Small end-of-the-day actions can open the way to a deeply restorative night. In the next chapter, I'll tell you how gentle movement can be a powerful key in this process.
Dr. Tanaka, last time you mentioned light movement before bed as an ally for both sleep and the liver. Honestly, that surprised me. Most people think of exercise as a daytime thing, energy, sweat, activity. But what's the benefit of moving a little at night?
That's true. Most people make that association. But what I'm talking about here isn't intense training. It's gentle, slow, relaxing movement. When you take a light walk or do a few stretches in the evening, you're signaling to the body that it can start winding down. That activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the one that controls relaxation. Plus, a little blood circulation helps the liver mobilize toxins that have built up, making its nighttime work easier.
Interesting. So instead of crashing on the couch right after dinner, maybe it's actually smarter to get up and take a short walk. How long are we talking here?
Around 15 to 20 minutes is enough. No running, no hills. The key is a smooth pace, the body in motion, the mind slowing down. Ideally, without your phone, without rushing. And if you can do it outside, even better. Evening natural light helps regulate melatonin. After that, your body's way more ready for rest.
And what about stretching? I feel like a lot of people ignore it, but it seems like it plays a bigger role than we realize.
Absolutely. Stretching before bed is like prepping your body for a deep dive into rest. Muscles let go of tension, breathing gets deeper, the nervous system starts to shift into rest mode. And what's cool is that it also helps inside. A tense, tight body makes blood flow harder for the liver, kidneys, lymphatic system. When you relax, everything works better.
It's like the body's a field that needs to be tilled before harvest. If we prep it with care, it gives us more health in return. Now, I get why you said gentle movement opens the way for the hot drink you promised to reveal.
Exactly. The drink we'll reveal later has anti-inflammatory and digestive effects. But for it to work properly, the body needs to be in absorption mode, not defense mode. These simple nightly rituals, like walking, stretching, shutting down screens, create the right environment. It's like setting up a dark, quiet, comfy bedroom before sleep.
And all of this with no cost, no gym, no equipment, just presence and intention. I'm already picturing it. An evening with a short walk, some light stretching, and then that hot drink you promised to share. Feels almost like a sacred ritual, doesn't it?
That's exactly how I like to think of it. A ritual that bridges the busy world with the world of deep sleep. And in that ritual, some natural ingredients can make all the difference, both for sleep and for the liver. That's what we'll dig into next.
Dr. Tanaka, I'm starting to get that the body doesn't need complicated solutions. Sometimes it's just about knowing how to use the right resources at the right time. And when we talk about prepping the body to detox overnight, I imagine natural ingredients make all the difference. Can we dive into that?
Absolutely. Nature gives us some powerful tools. The secret is how and when to use them. Some ingredients that look simple actually have strong effects on the liver, digestion, and nervous system. A great example is lemon. It tastes acidic in the mouth, but it has an alkalizing effect inside the body. It stimulates bile production, which is key for the liver to process fats and toxins. It's like lemon gently wakes up the liver.
That's fascinating. A lot of people drink lemon water in the morning, but I'd never heard about using it at night. And when you talk about stimulating bile, we're talking about really helping with the cleansing process, right?
Exactly. Bile works like the liver's detergent. Without it, toxin and fat elimination gets compromised. And at night, with the digestive system calmer, lemon can act as a facilitator for that process. Another powerful ingredient is mint. Beyond its refreshing taste, It soothes the stomach and relaxes the muscles of the digestive system. That also sets the stage for calmer sleep.
Mint really does have that calming effect, huh? I remember my grandma making mint tea whenever someone had a stomachache or was anxious. So she already knew, even without the biochemistry.
That's the beauty of traditional wisdom. A lot of those old habits are backed up by science today. And when we talk anti-inflammatory ingredients, we can't forget ginger. It helps the liver metabolize toxins, improves digestion, and has a mild thermogenic effect that stimulates metabolism even during sleep. It's like a natural little boost to keep the body working inside, even while at rest.
So if I mix lemon, mint, and ginger, I'm basically making some kind of nightly cleansing cocktail, right? Like a bedtime elixir?
You're on the right track. Those three together form a strong base of liver and digestive support. But, and here's the secret, when they're combined with one special ingredient that balances it all out, the effect multiplies. That's when the magic happens. And that's what we'll uncover in the next chapter.
Now you got me hooked. I was already excited about those three, and now I really want to know what this special ingredient is that supercharges everything. So in the next chapter, we'll step into the world of traditional teas, right?
Exactly. We'll look at how different cultures around the world have used infusions to support the liver and prep the body for sleep. And of course, get closer to the #1 hot drink that ties it all together.
Dr. Tanaka, we're building momentum here. We started with sleep, went into the liver, talked about habits, then ingredients, and now we're stepping into what feels almost sacred, teas. I love how they've been passed down through cultures and generations. Seems like everyone has a favorite tea, and in many cases, without even knowing it, they're helping their liver in the process. Can you share a bit of that history with us?
Of course. Tea has always been a natural form of treatment, both in Eastern and Western medicine. Many herbs have calming, digestive, or detoxifying effects, and some are especially good for the liver. A classic example is chamomile, well known for its relaxing effects. It doesn't just calm the mind, it also reduces inflammation and helps the liver work peacefully at night.
Chamomile really is a favorite. And it's amazing to think that by having a cup before bed, we might be doing way more than just relaxing. Are there other herbs that are even more specific for the liver?
Definitely. One of the most studied is milk thistle, also known as silymarin. It's considered one of nature's strongest liver protectors. It helps regenerate liver cells, fights oxidative stress, and has anti-inflammatory action. It's widely used in Europe, especially in Germany, as a natural treatment for liver conditions.
Wow, that already sounds like a super tea. Is there another one you often recommend in this traditional line?
Yes. Another classic is dandelion. It's diuretic, stimulates bile production, and helps flush out toxins through both the liver and the kidneys. It's been widely used in Chinese medicine and also by Native American tribes in North America. The taste is more bitter, but the effect makes it worthwhile, especially as a bedtime infusion.
It's incredible how different cultures found similar paths to support the body, especially the liver. Seems like folk wisdom was always a step ahead of science, right?
Actually, I'd say science is just validating what ancestral wisdom already knew. Drinking infusions before bed is a powerful ritual. But, and here's the important part, even these well-known herbs aren't the most potent for the liver at night. There's a special combination that, when prepared the right way, brings together deep relaxation and active detox.
There's that suspense again. So chamomile, milk thistle, and dandelion are great, but they're still not the #1 hot drink. Now I'm even more curious.
We're almost there. In the next chapter, I'll reveal the drink I personally have every single night before bed. It's a simple, natural, and extremely effective formula. And the best part, anyone can make it at home.
Dr. Tanaka, I'm way too excited for this moment. We've talked about so many great things so far, but you've been promising for chapters now this special drink you personally have before bed. And now the time has come. So tell me, what's in this formula?
It's a simple, accessible, and deeply effective combo. I've been having it every night, without exception, for over 10 years. It has 4 main elements: hot water, turmeric, honey, and lemon. That's it. But the magic is in the synergy between them. Each ingredient has a specific role that, combined, creates a powerful effect of relaxation, regeneration, and liver detox.
Wow, those are ingredients pretty much everyone already has at home. But together they become like a nighttime elixir, right? Let's break down each one quickly. We've already talked about lemon before, but in this case, what's its role in the mix?
Lemon is still a natural bile stimulator and helps wake up the liver for its nightly cleansing process, even while the body's at rest. But here it also provides vitamin C, which boosts absorption of turmeric's active compounds. Turmeric, in turn, is the heart of the drink. It contains curcumin, a powerful natural anti-inflammatory that helps regenerate the liver and fight free radicals.
Turmeric really feels like one of those spices we haven't given enough credit to yet. And the honey? Is it just there to sweeten, or does it play a deeper role?
Honey's role is super important. First, it balances the flavor and makes the drink more enjoyable, which is key if you want it to become a nightly ritual. Second, it has antimicrobial properties and helps calm the nervous system. That makes it easier to fall into deep sleep. But it's important to use pure, high-quality honey, and never boil it, or it loses its benefits.
And the hot water, of course, is what carries it all. But does it need to be really hot? What's the ideal temperature?
It should be hot, but not boiling. Ideally around 140 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot enough to extract the compounds, but without degrading the nutrients. It also makes the drink comforting, warms you up from the inside, and triggers a cozy, soothing feeling. It's almost therapeutic.
It's amazing how something so simple can have such deep effects. I can totally picture you making this every night, almost like a quiet ritual before bed.
Exactly. It's my moment. Sometimes in silence, sometimes while reading something light. This small act changes the way my body goes into sleep, and how my liver works while I rest. It's one of those small practices that changes everything.
Dr. Tanaka, this is the moment everyone's been waiting for. We've talked ingredients, teas, rituals, and now the full recipe for the drink you call the #1 when it comes to deep sleep and liver detox. Can you reveal it for us?
With pleasure. It's a recipe I share with many patients, and in my own experience, it's transformed my nights. The prep is super simple. Heat up about 200 milliliters of water. No need to boil, just hot enough. Then add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, the juice of half a fresh lemon, and 1 teaspoon of pure honey. Stir well until it's smooth. And that's it.
That's all. No straining, no waiting, no steeping?
No need. It's a drink you make and drink right away. But the real secret is timing. Have it 30 to 60 minutes before bed, ideally in a calm environment, with low light, already easing into bedtime. That ritual helps lock in the habit and boosts the ingredient's effectiveness.
I can imagine the impact. A hot, soothing drink packed with natural active ingredients, promoting liver detox while you sleep. It's a mix of self-care, science, and simplicity.
That's the essence. We live in a world of complex solutions, but the body still responds best to simple practices done consistently. This drink works as a night trigger that shuts down the day's chaos and switches on the body's regenerative mode, all while you rest.
And what's cool is that it's not just a magic fix on its own. It fits into a bigger picture. Light meals at night, gentle movement, breathing, silence. It's like this drink crowns the whole process.
Exactly. It's the finishing touch to a cycle, and at the same time, the start of a transformative night. The best part is hearing patients say that over time, they start sleeping better, waking with more energy, and even improving liver-related test results. All without medication, without side effects, just with a change in attitude and routine.
That's amazing, Doctor. Thank you so much for the conversation, your generosity, and such practical advice. I'm sure everyone listening is already thinking about starting this ritual tonight.
That makes me very happy. And I'll leave a simple message. Simple can be powerful. Never underestimate the impact of a small, mindful habit. Take care of your body at night, and it'll take care of you during the day.
Beautifully said. And hey, for you who've been with us through this whole interview, I've got an important message. Stick around. Because now that our chat with Dr. Tanaka has wrapped up, I'm going to share some simple and effective nightly habits that help improve your liver health, even if you don't start with a drink tonight. Stay tuned, because the video isn't over yet. There's a lot of good stuff coming up next. Number 10. Avoid excess refined sugar. The conversation with Dr. Tanaka was really eye-opening. He made it clear that beyond natural drinks and teas, our daily habits make all the difference for liver health. And among the biggest villains is refined sugar. This ingredient hides in countless foods and drinks we consume without a second thought. Too much sugar doesn't just affect the pancreas, it also has a direct impact on the liver. That happens because the liver is the organ responsible for metabolizing sugar and converting it into energy. When intake is high and constant, the liver starts turning that sugar into fat. The result is fat buildup in the liver itself, one of the main triggers for fatty liver disease, also called hepatic steatosis. Even though it's silent at first, this condition can progress to much more serious issues if it's not managed. Dr. Tanaka always warns me about the dangers of ultra-processed foods, which are loaded with hidden sugars. Sodas, cream-filled cookies, ready-made sauces, packaged bread, they all pack insane amounts of sugar, even when the taste doesn't give it away. And the problem is, a lot of people, even those trying to eat healthier, still end up consuming these products without realizing it. It's an invisible but constant risk. A simple but effective change is to start reading food labels. Words like corn syrup, maltodextrin, or inverted sugar are all variations of sugar that often go unnoticed. Cutting down or eliminating soda consumption is another key step. Swapping them for lemon water, natural iced tea, or unsweetened juice already creates a visible positive impact on liver health within a few weeks. On top of that, looking for natural sweets can be a safe and enjoyable alternative. Fresh fruit, dates, or even a piece of dark chocolate in moderation can help satisfy sugar cravings without overloading the liver. Remember, the problem isn't the occasional sugar, but frequent, high intake. Balance is always the key, as Dr. Tanaka emphasizes in all his guidance. So, reducing refined sugar isn't just about looks or weight control. It's a decision that directly impacts the liver's ability to regenerate and function properly. When you cut back, you give your body the chance to rebalance and eliminate toxins more efficiently. And that translates into more energy, better digestion, calmer sleep, and most importantly, a healthier liver. Number 9. Include more soluble fiber. Dr. Tanaka always surprises me with the best tips, and this time he highlighted something essential: soluble fiber. Hardly anyone talks about it when it comes to liver health, but it's a powerful ally in fighting fat buildup in the liver. Foods like oats, apples, and beans are rich in this type of fiber, which directly affects how the body absorbs fats and sugars. And that's where the secret lies. When you eat soluble fiber, it forms a kind of gel in the digestive tract. That gel slows down how fast sugar enters the bloodstream and at the same time limits fat absorption. This way, the liver stops getting constant overloads of both elements, which helps it work lighter and more efficiently. It's like taking extra weight off the back of someone who's already tired. Plus, soluble fiber also feeds the good bacteria in your gut. That balance in gut flora directly influences inflammation in the body and, as a result, liver health. The liver and gut work hand in hand, and when one is out of balance, the other suffers. That's why strengthening the gut with fiber is an indirect but super effective way to protect the liver. Adding these foods into daily life can be easier than it looks. Breakfast with oats and banana, lunch with beans and veggies, or a snack with apple, and nuts already help get enough soluble fiber. The key is consistency. The more regular the intake, the better the long-term effects. The impact isn't immediate, but it's deep and lasting. It's also interesting to think about how this small change affects other areas of health. Soluble fiber helps control cholesterol, blood sugar, and even appetite. That means fewer random hunger pangs, more control over eating, and of course, less stress on the liver. It's one of those complete solutions that works on multiple fronts at once. Number 8. Drink green tea regularly. Dr. Tanaka had already mentioned the power of natural drinks, but when he talked about green tea, it became clear this infusion deserves special attention. Many people only see green tea as a weight loss helper, but goes way beyond that. It contains bioactive compounds, mainly catechins, which have a powerful effect on the liver. And this effect is deeply beneficial for anyone looking for detox and long-term health. Catechins are natural antioxidants that protect liver cells from damage caused by free radicals. Our liver is exposed daily to toxic substances from food, pollution, and medications. Green tea acts like a shield against those aggressors, helping the liver keep its integrity and function. It's like giving it a gentle, constant, internal cleanse, protecting this vital organ. Beyond its antioxidant action, green tea also improves fat metabolism. That means it helps the liver process fats more efficiently, reducing the risk of buildup. And when the liver works well, the whole body feels the benefits. More energy, healthier skin, better digestion, and even clearer thinking are indirect consequences of this simple care. Another cool point is that green tea also has anti-inflammatory properties. Chronic inflammation, often silent, is one of the biggest causes of liver disease. By drinking green tea regularly, you reduce that inflammation, creating a cleaner, more balanced environment for the liver to function. That's especially important for people already showing signs of fatty liver. Adding green tea to your routine can be super simple. 1 or 2 cups a day, preferably away from main meals, are enough to enjoy its effects. And if the taste is too bitter, try mixing it with mint, ginger, or a few drops of lemon. The important thing is to make it regular, like a daily habit that feeds well-being and longevity. Number 7. Sleep at regular hours. Dr. Tanaka always insists on something most people ignore. Sleep is just as important as food for keeping the liver healthy. He explained that the liver works hardest during the night, especially between 1 and 3 a.m. That's when the body's main detox processes happen. But for that to work properly, regular sleep is essential. Disorganized sleep, staying up late, or sleeping in fragments breaks the body's natural rhythm and messes with liver function. The liver needs a stable, restful environment to do its cleaning work. When that doesn't happen, toxins that should have been eliminated stay in circulation, and the body feels it. Fatigue, irritability, slow digestion, and even hormonal imbalances. Dr. Tanaka shared an interesting fact. People who keep regular sleep schedules have a lower risk of chronic liver disease. That's because the body adapts to predictable cycles, optimizing hormone release and cell activity. It's like an internal clock that only works well if it's respected. And the liver is definitely one of the organs that benefits most from this discipline. To sleep better, it's not enough to just go to bed early. The body and mind need prep for rest. Avoiding bright screens before bed, creating a dark and quiet environment, and setting a relaxing routine help the brain understand it's time to switch off. Reading something light, having a warm tea, or practicing deep breathing are simple habits that make a big difference. It's also worth remembering that too much nighttime stimulation, like heavy dinners, caffeine, or intense activities, messes with sleep and, as a result, liver function. Sleeping at regular hours doesn't mean rigid rules, but consistency. Going to bed and waking up around the same time helps the body find its natural rhythm. And that rhythm is essential for liver balance. Number 6. Avoid excessive use of medication. Dr. Tanaka touched on a sensitive point that deserves all our attention: the excessive and often unnecessary use of medication. He explained that the liver is the main organ responsible for metabolizing drugs in the body. In other words, everything we take, from a simple painkiller to a strong anti-inflammatory, goes through it. And when the load is too high or too frequent, that processing turns into overload. Many people believe that since some meds are sold without prescription, they're harmless. But that's not true. Regular use of painkillers like acetaminophen can cause serious liver damage, especially when combined with alcohol or poor diet. The same goes for anti-inflammatories taken indiscriminately for back pain, headaches, or joint aches. Small doses, repeated day after day, add up to a huge burden on the liver. Dr. Tanaka emphasizes that long-term medication use should always be monitored by a professional. Even those prescribed by doctors need regular tests to check liver impact. In some cases, the liver sends silent signs of strain, like excessive fatigue, appetite changes, or abdominal discomfort, but few people link those symptoms to medication use. And that's a common mistake. Looking for natural alternatives for mild pain or temporary discomfort can be a safe solution. Compresses, calming teas, stretching, and relaxation techniques are options that bring relief without harming the liver. Of course, medications are necessary in many situations, but the key is avoiding constant use without supervision. As Dr. Tanaka always says, too much medicine turns into poison, especially for the liver. Another important factor is avoiding self-medication. Mixing different drugs, especially without guidance, can amplify toxic effects on the liver. Many meds interact with each other, raising the risk of liver injury. That's why it's crucial to read labels, ask professionals, and always seek advice before starting any treatment, even if it seems harmless. Number 5. Increase the consumption of omega-3 rich foods. During our conversation, Dr. Tanaka highlighted something that many people still underestimate: the importance of omega-3 for liver health. This type of healthy fat has a strong anti-inflammatory action, which is essential for an organ that is constantly exposed to toxins. Foods like salmon, sardines, chia seeds, and flax seeds are rich sources of omega-3, and their inclusion in the diet can significantly transform liver function. The main benefit of omega-3 is its ability to reduce inflammation in the liver. Constant inflammation, even if low-grade, prevents the liver from regenerating properly. The result? A progressive accumulation of fat and toxins that can develop into serious diseases. By consuming more omega-3, you interrupt this inflammatory process and give the liver a more favorable environment for healing and cell renewal. Another interesting point is that omega-3 helps balance blood fat levels. It lowers bad cholesterol LDL and triglycerides while increasing good cholesterol HDL. This improves circulation and reduces liver overload, making it easier for the organ to filter substances. It is like clearing the paths so the liver can do its work with more lightness and efficiency. Dr. Tanaka recommends, whenever possible, including fatty cold water fish in meals at least twice a week. In addition, seeds like chia and flax can be added to yogurt, juices, or salads very easily. Even flaxseed oil or fish oil in capsule form can be an alternative for people who have trouble consuming these foods frequently. It is worth remembering that not all fats are villains. On the contrary, the body needs good fats to work properly, and the liver depends on them to maintain its cellular structure and carry out its metabolic processes. Replacing saturated and trans fats with sources of omega-3 is a simple decision that brings lasting results. The impact can be noticed in energy, overall well-being, and liver health. Number 4. Control body weight. Dr. Tanaka went straight to the point. Maintaining a healthy weight is one of the most important pillars for liver health. And is not just about aesthetics or appearance. Excess weight, especially the accumulation of abdominal fat, is directly linked to the development of fatty liver disease, also known as hepatic steatosis. This is a silent problem that, when ignored, can progress to chronic inflammation, fibrosis, and even cirrhosis. The reason is clear: visceral fat, the one that accumulates around the organs, interferes with metabolic processes and stimulates internal inflammation. The liver, being one of the most affected organs, ends up with its function compromised. The good news is that even modest weight loss, between 5% and 10% of body weight, already brings significant improvements in liver function. And this shows how gradual changes can bring great results. Weight control is based on two main paths: balanced eating and regular physical activity. It is not necessary to follow restrictive diets or exhausting workouts. Small steps like reducing fried food intake, avoiding refined sugar, and walking every day already make a huge difference. According to Dr. Tanaka, the secret lies in consistency, not in perfection. Another important aspect is understanding that losing weight does not mean starving, but eating better. Natural foods rich in fiber and lean proteins help maintain satiety and avoid blood sugar spikes that lead to fat accumulation. Sleeping well, drinking plenty of water, and managing stress also contribute to hormonal balance, which is essential for healthy metabolism. Dr. Tanaka always reinforces that controlling weight is a way of taking care of yourself as a whole. It is not only the liver that benefits. The heart, joints, brain, and even mood improve with sustainable weight loss. It is like putting all the body systems to work in harmony with less effort and more efficiency. And this has direct effects on quality of life. Number 3. Reduce the consumption of fried foods. Dr. Tanaka was categorical in another crucial recommendation. If there is one eating habit that deeply compromises the liver, it is the frequent consumption of fried foods. French fries, snacks, breaded foods, and even vegetables soaked in oil become true bombs of bad fat. These preparations, in addition to being rich in empty calories, carry a particularly dangerous type of fat: trans fats. These inflammatory fats are one of the worst silent aggressors of the liver. They make it harder for the body to metabolize good fats, raise bad cholesterol levels, and promote inflammation in liver tissue. The result is a liver that works overloaded, struggling to deal with residues it cannot process properly. And this can speed up the development of fatty liver disease and other complications. Another alarming factor is the use of reused oils in frying, very common in restaurants and snack bars. When heated repeatedly, these oils produce toxic substances that, when absorbed, overload the liver even more. The body has trouble getting rid of these toxins, and the liver ends up storing part of them, which compromises its detoxification function. Fortunately, there are simple and effective alternatives to reduce or eliminate fried foods from everyday life. Choosing methods such as baking, grilling, or steaming keeps the flavor of the food and preserves nutrients without harming the body. With a little creativity, it is possible to prepare tasty and healthy dishes that do not depend on excess oil. Dr. Tanaka always says, health is more in the way you prepare food than in the food itself. Another important tip is to use better quality oils in smaller amounts. Extra virgin olive oil, for example, can be used in quick preparations at low temperatures. Even so, the ideal is to use it raw, as in salads or as a finishing touch. Understanding the type of fat you consume is a fundamental step to ease the liver's workload and preserve its health for many years. Number 2. Get regular check UPS. Dr. Tanaka always emphasizes that taking care of the liver goes far beyond eating well. He repeats a phrase that never leaves my mind: the liver suffers in silence. That is because most of the time, liver problems do not show symptoms in their early stages. That is why regular checkups are so important. They are the only way to detect early changes that could go unnoticed for years. Simple blood tests like transaminases, AST and ALT, already provide important clues about the state of the liver. When these values are altered, it may be a sign of inflammation, fat accumulation, or even more serious damage. Another valuable test is the abdominal ultrasound, which helps to see if the liver is enlarged or if there is fat accumulation. These are quick, painless, and highly informative procedures. The big problem is that many people only find out they have fatty liver disease or other conditions when the damage is already advanced. And this makes treatment more difficult and the risks much higher. Dr. Tanaka always reinforces that having an annual checkup is a way of respecting your own body. Prevention, in this case, is much more effective and economical than trying to reverse conditions that are already compromised. In addition, checkups allow lifestyle adjustments to be made in a personalized way. If a test shows high cholesterol, altered glucose, or elevated liver enzymes, it is possible to act immediately with dietary and exercise changes. It is not just about seeing if everything is okay, but about understanding what can be improved before it becomes a serious problem. And that makes all the difference for long-term quality of life. Another important point is to talk to your doctor about the use of medications and supplements. Many times, people use substances on their own without knowing they are overloading the liver. With tests in hand, the professional can guide more precisely what to maintain, adjust, or eliminate. It is care that goes beyond the liver and extends to the entire body. Number 1. Consume protective spices. Dr. Tanaka ended our conversation with a tip that he considers one of the most powerful, and at the same time, one of the simplest. He talked about the use of natural spices as true shields for the liver. Seasonings like turmeric, rosemary, and garlic have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties capable of protecting this vital organ from daily stress. And the best part, they are within our reach every day in the kitchen. Turmeric, for example, contains curcumin, an active compound with strong anti-inflammatory action. It helps reduce inflammatory processes in the liver and also stimulates bile production, making fat digestion easier. When combined with black pepper, its absorption in the body increases significantly. It is a seasoning that can be used in soups, rice, vegetables, teas, and even natural juices. Rosemary was also highly mentioned by Dr. Tanaka. It works as a natural detoxifier, helping the liver eliminate toxins. In addition, it improves blood circulation, which favors the oxygenation and nutrition of liver cells. It can be used fresh or dried in meats, roasted vegetables, sauces, and even infusions. A rosemary tea at night, for example, is both comforting and functional. Garlic is a long-time favorite of those who seek natural health, and with good reason. It contains allicin, a sulfur compound that activates liver enzymes responsible for eliminating toxic residues. Garlic also has antimicrobial and antioxidant action and helps reduce cholesterol. Including raw or lightly cooked garlic in daily meals is a simple and effective way to strengthen liver health with flavor. These spices, when used regularly, not only protect the liver, but also promote an anti-inflammatory environment throughout the body. They are discreet but powerful allies. And as Dr. Tanaka always points out, large amounts are not necessary. It is consistency in use that really makes the difference. They are small details that, when added up, build strong and lasting health. Therefore, try to give more space to these natural spices in your routine. They are not only there to add flavor to dishes, but also to strengthen the body, prevent diseases, and help the liver perform its function more efficiently. And remember what Dr. Tanaka said, the right spices are like a daily, silent, and effective treatment for your liver. A small care with a huge impact. And if you want to keep receiving the best videos for your health, subscribe to the channel, because it exists for just one reason, to make you a healthier person with better quality of life. Helping you is my mission. In the video that now appears on your screen, I revealed a popular plant that is clogging your arteries and raising your cholesterol. Click on the screen and check it out.